Okay, so I'm Lavina Mantle with Mantle & Co's. I specialize in funnels and automations and CRM setups. So basically, launching your business online is what I specialize in. Today, we're going to talk about modernizing agriculture, farming in the digital age, and kind of how you do that. So real quick before we get started and like why this is so important, farms with websites are 3 times more likely to see growth in their business compared to those without. So being online and having that online presence really is crucial to your business and making your farm grow. So a little bit about me. I'm a farm girl. I grew up in Kansas, in the United States, went to Kansas State University for ag, nutrition, feed, animal science, that type of stuff. Met my husband and we got married and started living internationally. So I switched to a business degree with the University of Maryland because that was something they offered that was local in Germany where we were living at the time. I grew up on a beef farm or ranch. So we actually raise Angus Hereford cattle with my family, my dad and my brother, and we currently have a bulk beef operation. So we send those out to consumers instead of setting directly to auction and whatnot. So I manage all the marketing and sales, kind of launching and expanding for that business. A little background on my employment history and just kind of where I learned what I do today and why I know what I know is I've worked for multiple large organizations like 2 to 60 million, both with the Army and the Air Force, a huge ag company. I was managing their remote marketing team. And then I've also worked with an international business and setting up their remote sales team. So kind of setting up all their processes, working in HubSpot and making sure everything's connected and works together. A couple years ago, I started my own business. So I do CRM setups now, funnels and automations, working in high level, different platforms, Kajabi, HubSpot, Honeybook, but primarily high level. It is my favorite one. And for small businesses and entrepreneurs, farms, I do feel like it's the best. So just what are the biggest challenges for producers and stuff? And that's kind of what we're going to go over today is what challenges you guys are facing as producers and kind of how we can help fix some of those problems and get you online, get you started, start making sales, and bring in that extra revenue for the farm, because we know as producers, a lot of times we don't make a lot of money when we're smaller. And just having those extra incomes and different ways that we can expand our farm other than traditional farming or ranching is crucially important. So that just a quick fact right now is average age of producers in America is 57.1 years old. So that is kind of really scary to think about, that the average age of a producer in the United States is 57 years old. And only 9% of those producers are under the age of 35. So I'm 27, coming from a younger generation and thinking about the future of producers and farmers in the US. That's scary knowing that there's not only 9% are under 35. So we definitely need to get some new blood in here. We need to get some younger generations back into the ag industry. So any questions from here? Feel free to pop anything into the chat if you have a question or a comment, and I'll answer it throughout the presentation. But yeah, I'm super excited about this. So traditionally, farmers face several challenges related to marketing and the adoption of digital tools like CRMs, websites, online presence, and that type of things. A big one is kind of limited marketing knowledge. This is a new field. It's rapidly expanding, so there's not a huge amount of knowledge about it, especially like my parents, for example. They're one of those examples. They're in their 50s. They've been farming for their whole life, but this is completely unknown to them. They have a little bit of experience and they're willing to learn and to do this, but they don't know how to do this. So that's kind of why I came in and I helped with the marketing and sales side of things for the beef business, because they didn't have the tools and the knowledge. This is completely new. Another thing is resources. We all know, like I said earlier, we operate on very tight budgets. So there's not a lot of room to invest in fancy and expensive people to come in and put this all together for you. most producers that I know, like myself, are DIYers, so we want to know how to do it ourselves and kind of get it out there. And you're able to do that. It's possible. You can learn how to do it. And the other thing is the time intensity. So it takes a lot of time to raise crops, to raise cattle, other livestock. You don't have a lot of extra time. I know growing up, like, it seemed like from sun up to sundown, there was things to do and we were doing them, and we didn't have time for a lot of other stuff. There never seems to be enough time to get everything you need to get done anyways. So trying to conquer the online space and get your business online and start building those platforms, it takes a lot of time and resources, and not everybody has the time to do it. So my goal today is kind of walk you through an efficient way to establish your online presence in an ag business, creating that, managing an all-in-one software, which is going to save you a lot of time, what we can automate some tasks, different things like networking, online presence is a huge one, different things like that. So I'm going to walk you through everything. Hopefully by the end of this, you have a good idea on how to get your business online, how to get started, and to start selling and making money. So what steps can we take to change? What are some skills that we can provide for others? What is something that we're already doing? A huge thing that's been really popular in my area and across the US is farm shares. So you're already planting the plants, you're already milking a cow or raising up the beef for beef. Why not do one extra one and sell that? So farm shares are huge in our area and around the US. That's just an example of something that you can do to make a little bit of extra money. You might not make a ton, but maybe that extra cow that you're selling to someone else pays for your feed and your labor. So like, it's a good way to get started. It's a good way to keep going. For example, our family farm, we're already raising all the beef. We're already selling them to auctions. We sat down and started breaking out the prices. And it's actually easier for us, more cost effective for us if we sell them directly to consumers that are already wanting quality, more nutritious, they know where their meat's coming from, than to sell it to auctions and big corporations. So that's one way that you can kind of think about what are some different steps you can change, what are some different skills that you can use to sell to others, teach others, educate others, and make some extra income for your farm. Another one that's really big in the online space right now, which for a traditional farmer is kind of very scary, but digital products and digital marketing is huge right now. For example, my dad, actually the majority of our land that we run our cattle on came from farm ground. There's not a lot of nutrition in the soil. The grass wasn't great. So we've spent he spent the last 20 some years fixing that soil and bringing back the natural grasses that are filled with all those nutrients that we want the cattle eating, that are healthy and good for the cattle. So that's something like we can turn that into an online course or an ebook, and basically a resource to other farmers and ranchers or even homesteaders, anybody that's interested that has land that's not that great nutrition wise, but it's what they have and it's what they're working with and it's what they want to build up to something that's healthy. People will actually pay money to buy that course or that ebook or whatever it is, so that they can have steps and they know and have those resources of how to fix their soil. So there's lots of different digital products. Seem really weird. They seem kind of scary, and I don't think a lot of people understand them, but they are available. You can use Canva, Canva is super easy to put a PDF together and you can start selling it. So that is one way. So this is kind of how setting up your digital presence will help you make money and get you customers. Kind of setting up a farm online, using social media and networking to get your business out there, grow your audience, things like that. Using all-in-one platform to manage different aspects saves you a lot of time switching back and forth, which includes like CRMs, funnels, newsletters, different like that. You're building your trust with your customer. But your leads from those outside sources are going to become prospects, and that's where you're going to nurture them. And those prospects are eventually going to become customers, which becomes money. So this is a very kind of brief overview of how to set up your farm online. So with this one, we're going to talk about building your website. So your website, some people in the marketing industry say websites are going out of fashion or out of style. They're going to be non-existent. I don't think so, especially with the ag industry. It seems like we're a little bit behind what other industries are doing. So just knowing that up front and getting a website out there, if they Google something like, for example, our beef business, if somebody in Kansas is searching for Kansas bulk beef or how to buy a cow in Kansas, our website's going to pop up because we have search engine optimized words in there so that when they Google that phrase or that sentence or whatever they're looking for, it'll see our website and it'll pull it up and pop it up for them. So websites are really, really good still. You can put all your information on there so that if somebody's a researcher like I am, they can find you. That's what you want. So my favorite place to kind of find a domain name in your website URL or what you're going to name your website is GoDaddy. There's tons of other options out there where you can buy a website domain. I just use GoDaddy. I can populate some ideas in there and it shows me if they're available or not, and I can do everything straight through there. The other kind of like trick that I have with domain names is, so for example, ours is called Dutch Creek Cattle Co., but we've also purchased several other ones that are similar. So like Kansas Beef, Dutch Creek Cattle Co., Kansas, things that people might be searching for. And then we redirect, when they type that in, we redirect it so it goes to our website. So that's another, if you get to the point where you're wanting to, you can actually purchase some of those different domain names that you think people might be searching for. You can go on Google and kind of search and see what key terms people are looking for your product, and then redirecting them to your website. So you get a little bit extra business. The other thing I found too is, so like Kansas actually has, the state of Kansas has a list for beef producers in our area, like in Kansas, and it's sectioned out by county. And when we were going through it, we noticed there was multiple companies that their websites were no longer live, that the domain was open. So what we could do is we could go in there and actually purchase that domain. So when somebody that has purchased with them before or knows of their company or even goes to the same website that we went to and clicks on that link to their website, they're redirected to ours. So just like using all your resources to get as much traffic to your website and your products as possible. So once you have your domain, you're going to want to build your online store. You have a couple different options with this, and it kind of depends on if you're using digital products or information or if you have physical products. So since I think the majority of us will probably have physical products, I'll use that example first. My favorite is Shopify. That is what we use. There's tons of out there. There's ones that are specifically built for farmers and ranchers. I did a lot of researching when I put all of our stuff together, and Shopify was larger. They had more resources. They had more abilities to integrate with other things. So that's why I chose them, but it's completely up to you and what you're looking for in your products. Jane also agrees Shopify is the best. I also like Shopify because it directly integrates with High Level, which is what I use for all of our marketing and keeping customers, contacts, and stuff like that. So that's another reason that I really like Shopify, because it integrates so seamlessly with High Level and just makes the entire process for my side of things so much smoother and easier. If you're running digital products or educational products, things like that, things that they're going to purchase and you don't have to worry about inventory and they immediately get or anything like that, you can build all those out on High Level, and it's actually really easy, really seamlessly done, and then it links with everything, so you don't have to worry about trying to integrate anything. So that's my favorite. I've played around with a couple different platforms for digital products, and I keep going back to High Level. So, but it's, once again, it's totally your preference and what you're looking for specifically. And then the other big thing about having an online business and presence, having your store up, is online payments. So this is like a big debate between me and my dad. He's had an ag business. He does agricultural fencing for 20 some years, and he still accepts all his payments through cash or check. And that's just how he's ran for the last 20 some years. And he doesn't really there's not a big reason for him to switch. It's worked well for him. The other thing though, is like, you have to wait for the mail to send those things. His is very niche industry, so it's like a catch-22 for him. But for beef business, we want to eventually start shipping throughout the United States. So right now we're only local to Kansas, Missouri, Colorado, Oklahoma, like local to states around Kansas that we're delivering to. But we want to eventually start shipping around the US. And to be able to do that, we have to accept online payments. Yes, there's fees. But when doing kind of a comparison cost analysis on that, we're going to make more money accepting those online payments and taking the hit for the credit card fees by having a larger audience, having more customers, things like that. So you do have to have a way to be able to take online payments. I mean, there's ways around it, but you're going to have a lot larger audience and be able to expand and make more business if you do have an online payment option. It's really easy to do that through Stripe now. There's tons of options. Pretty much all like Shopify, for example, has their own Shopify credit card option. So pretty much all the major platforms have their own options now. It's super easy. You just connect your bank account and fill out a little bit of information and you're done. So it's really not hard. Even through like High Level, you can send invoices and stuff straight through High Level. So you kind of avoid some of those other softwares. So the next part is going to be setting up your all-in-one platform. So you have your website up, you have your products available, you can start selling things. Now what? Now you got to start marketing. And that's a scary part for a lot of people because you can set up a website. Setting up a website is not that hard. Optimizing it and making sure that everything's connected, you start getting a little bit into it. But marketing is the real thing that scares a lot of people because they don't know how to do it, or maybe they do know how to do it, but it seems very overwhelming. So one of the biggest parts of marketing is building your online presence. And part of that's through your website, but the other part is through social media. I know a lot of farmers hate social media. I also hate social media, but I'm in the online space, so it's what I do. And the big thing is like, this is what's building your credibility with the consumer. It builds your credibility, it builds trust, it gives them information. And that's really important when you're trying to sell a product, especially if you're brand new. They want to know kind of who you are, what you're doing. Like for our cattle, they want to know that our cows are being treated humanely. They want to know that we're feeding them humanely. Also, everybody loves cute animals. Like if I post a picture of little chicks or baby calves, like you're guaranteed that I'm going to get lots of views and comments and likes because everybody loves baby animals. And they're probably going to watch it more than once, which is also how you start ranking up in like Instagram and TikTok and other things. So that's how you expand your reach and your audience. So you kind of have some different options. TikTok, like everybody knows, video is really hot right now. So TikTok and YouTube are still very popular. They're actually really great for producers because you can get some cool videos of like us working cows. We're getting ready to preg check all of our heifers this weekend. So like we're going to be out there recording some of us because not only do you get great footage, but it also gives you a chance to educate your consumers. So like we're going to educate them on why we're preg checking, how they do it, what we're looking for, and then what happens after that. So people like to know the process. They like to know like the thought of why you're doing things and kind of how things work. So TikTok and YouTube are like a really good way to showcase your product, get that knowledge out there and educate your customers. Another thing with social media, you can kind of see the example here on the screen. Facebook and Instagram give you options. You can link your website or your funnel. If you're doing digital products where you want to talk to people, it gives you the option where you can like book a call straight through there. You also have the option for connecting your like Shopify shop directly with your social media accounts. So people can actually check out and buy your products from Instagram or Facebook, which is huge because you want to eliminate as many steps as possible in the buying process. So you want to make things as easy as possible for the consumer. You don't want them getting distracted. You don't want them to get busy and not be able to purchase your product because it's taken so long. So that's a really nice kind of little trick to have, is that you can connect everything straight through there. So if you're, for example, if we were trying to market our steaks really hard and we had this really great steak bundle that we're promoting for Christmas, we could link that steak bundle straight there. So when they click on that link, it's going to take them straight to the steak bundle where they hit checkout and they buy. They're not going to have to look through the website, try to find the product, get distracted by everything else. They'll literally be able to click on the link, click checkout, and buy. So like that's huge. It's really, really, you want to streamline the process as much as you can for the consumer. Before we get into funnels, do we have any other questions about kind of like social media or setting up your website or anything like that? I'll give you guys a few minutes. Okay, I don't see anything coming through, so if something comes, then I'll get back to your questions. But now onto funnels and why I love funnels so much. So the biggest difference between a funnel and a website, and this is what confuses people, a website has all the information. So a lot of people are researchers and they want to go to your website and learn all about your products, all about your process, all about your company, have links to all your socials, everything like that. And that's what a website is great for. But kind of when we were just talking about the steak bundle for Christmas sale, a funnel is really good at dictating the journey. So you're going to be launching new products. You're going to be launching new offers, specials, things like that. Funnels are really great for this because it's dictating and keeping the consumer concentrated on one thing. You don't want them to get distracted. You don't want to lose them anywhere in the process. They're going to click on a link. It's going to take them to the first page. They're going to hit submit. It's going to take them to the next page, and so on and so forth. This is a funnel that we built for our wait list because our beef business only launches orders twice a year. So we do have a wait list that we've built with consumers that are wanting first dibs on our beef. So this was kind of like the general outline of our funnel. As they click the link, it said, hey, sign up for this. They put in their information. It takes them to the next page, which says, thank you for your subscription or subscribing. And then they move on with life. That's a really easy two-page funnel to collect people's emails. And emails are great because that is how you build your customer email list. So you can send out newsletters and other marketing materials to get sales later on or when you're launching things. Another thing that funnels are really great for is they're really great for using with ads. So like whether that's Facebook ads, Instagram ads, you can use, I saw an ad for Snapchat ads the other day. So there's so many different things, but you can actually use pixels, which is, we're starting to get real technical. But you can connect your funnels with ads, and then that's what they're clicking on. So when your ad comes up and people are seeing it, they're going to click on your funnel ad. So they're not getting distracted. You're not losing them in your website. You're focusing them on what you want them to do with your ad money. Because if you're going to spend money, you want them to buy what you're spending your money on. When it comes to running, whether it's Facebook ads or any others, I will say it's worth the money to hire somebody. You're going to spend a lot of time setting up your Facebook ads, and it's not, I mean, I've done it before and it took way more time than I wanted to spend on it. And to be honest, I don't know that it was even fully set up correctly, especially once you start linking pixels with different platforms and things like that, so you can track where your traffic's coming from. I would recommend just spending the money to hire somebody. They're going to save you your time and money with knowing how to set everything up correctly, making sure that you're running your ads to the appropriate target audience. You don't want to be spending your ad money on people that have no interest or no money in buying your products. I'm sure you guys know, but like selling a whole cow is not cheap. You're investing a lot of money on purchasing a whole cow for your family. And there's people that are willing to do that, but you want to make sure that those ads are going to the people that are actually interested in buying that cow and that have the money to buy that cow. So that's one of those times where it's worth the money to find somebody that knows what they're doing and knows how to do it so they can do it correctly and set it up the first time. And like the company that did ours, they set it up for us the first time. So we've already played around. We've made those tweaks. We know who we're targeting. So next time that we launch and we want to run ads again, we don't have to pay them to do it all over again. We just hit turn on ads. So a lot of times it's like a 1-2 time investment. You get your target audience, you know what's working, and then you can just keep using that and then just make little tweaks as each time you're running a new one. My thing stopped singing. Hang on. Okay. And this is kind of just an example of the difference of like a website versus a funnel. A website has a navigation page, so you can go back and forth and you can switch in between pages. A funnel, you technically can go back, but it's taking you through a system. If you kind of think like a funnel that you're using for like canning, to put things in jars or to fix equipment, or like fill your oil or whatever, you're taking them in a downward slope. So you're getting them to where they want to go. So let's talk a little bit about the CRM manager, customer relationship manager, and how it relates to having a website and to doing your social media presence and all these different things. Like, how does it work? So a customer relationship management tool, basically think about it like as your personal assistant. It has every detail of your customer. It's organized. You can look back at past history from phone calls, text messages, emails, what they've bought, different things like that. So it's nice because it keeps everything in one spot. And it also organizes them for future marketing campaigns. So you can attach tags to them so you kind of know where they're coming from, like how you got them. Really, customers are the heartbeat of your business. So you really want that. You want that information. You want to know what their history is, what they've been buying, what they've been doing, what questions have they had. Sorry, I saw a question coming in. So that's the basis of a customer relationship management tool. Now, there's tons more other things in there, and we're going to touch on that. But the focus of a CRM is the customers. How can we make the customer journey better? So before I go on, I want to answer this quickly. What are some tools that can help us target the right ag audience? So this is actually a great question, and I'm glad you asked it. When we were looking for target audiences for our bulk beef business, we sat down and we were like, okay, what kind of customers are we looking for that we want to sell to? So our target audience, and this is something that I think every business should do, is figure out who your target audience is. Our target audience is people that are looking for organically grown meat, homesteaders that are looking for healthy alternatives, those type of people that are wanting something, they're wanting products that they're feeding to themselves and their family that are healthier than what they can get in stores. So we actually went to multiple Facebook groups. We literally Googled like organic food Kansas, Kansas homesteaders, things like that, different Facebook groups. And we looked to see who was in those groups, like what kind of people. Then you can take that information that you get from the people that are actually a part of that group, and you can create a list, and then you upload that into Facebook, and it'll use those customer profiles basically, or those ideal audience profiles, and it will build you a target audience out of that. So does that kind of help? Does that make sense at all? Another way that you can find your target audience for ads is kind of sitting down and thinking about what qualities they're looking for. For my personal business, I like helping farms and ag businesses come online, what I do for work. So I can put in key terms like entrepreneurs, small businesses, agriculture, farming. A couple other keywords that I've used is like sourdough, because that's huge in the homesteading community right now. Gardening. That's all I can think of off the top of my head. But thinking some of those keywords that are your target audience and what they're looking at, what they're searching, then putting those into a profile and building you an audience off of that. And you're not going to get it right the first time. You're going to have to run a couple different ad campaigns. Sorry, guys, I cannot talk today. But doing those little tweaks will kind of help you figure out who you need to be targeting and help you get to targeting your right audience with your ads money. So you have to be willing to invest a little bit up front to figure out who your audience is. But once you get your audience figured out, then you're going to be making money off your ads. Okay, back to the CRM. So this is just some other parts of the CRM that are in there that are useful. So you have a calendar. If you use like Google Calendars or Calendly, those all cost extra money. They do integrate, but you can save a lot of money and time by just using the tools that are in high level versus using other ones, because everything's going to integrate for you. And you're not going to have to spend $20 here, $5 here, $15 here for different subscriptions. Everything's going to be one flat price. If you're selling an online course or anything like that, digital products, it actually has a membership area within there. So all your material is inside one area. They even have like communities now, kind of like Facebook and LinkedIn does. You can do all your email marketing through there. So your monthly newsletters, if you're getting ready to launch a product. So like when we launch our bulk orders in August, we actually sent out multiple emails, kind of like hyping people up, like, hey, our cows are almost available. Get excited, get ready to order them. We only have a handful. And then like we send out monthly newsletters so we can keep people, one, keep us at the top of their mind, but two, keep them updated. Like when we have new babies on the farm, we take pictures and we're like, hey, we have new babies. We just ended hay season. So like we updated about the hay season and kind of the effects of the drought that we've been having. Another thing you can do is run all your blogs through there. So like in the past, bloggers have had a separate blog than their website and their other information. You can run all your blogs straight through high level. Connect them to like your front page of your website so that people can go in there and read them. I just read a blog from a friend. I was asking her about shipping her bulk beef and like how they do it and stuff like that. And she's like, oh, hey, actually, I wrote a blog about this a couple weeks ago. Here's the link. So it's really nice to have those resources too, because when people ask you questions, you can be like, here's the link to this entire blog post with all this information. Another really good point of blogs is they do get your information out there. So when people are Googling, like, why should I buy an entire cow? You're going to pop up. It's going to link them back to your page. High level also has invoicing and payments, which we kind of already talked to about. So you can link everything straight through there. You can run all your payments, your invoicing, your credit cards, everything straight through there. So basically CRM is going to, it's going to make your life so much easier because everything's kept in one place. You're not going to be swapping back and forth between multiple platforms. But it's also going to save you a lot of money because you're only like high level is $119 a month compared to I think I have a slide at the end that kind of shows how much money you can save by using a CRM, but it's like up in the thousands that you could be spending on software. So just having everything in one place and integrating together instead of having to kind of piece things together is really, really nice. So we already kind of talked a little bit on newsletters, but this is an example of one that we send out. Announcements, farm life, product spotlights. You can actually connect funnels with your newsletter. So like for my personal business, I'm running a sale all of September for my business. So any services during September are 25% off for my birthday. So when I published my newsletter, I had my birthday funnel connected to my newsletter. So if people were interested in that, they could click that link. It would take them to the funnel. they would see the discount on services, they'd hit checked out, and there's a customer. So it's a really great way to kind of integrate, once again, using your funnels with your newsletter, with your marketing materials. Product spotlights, if you have a new product or you have something, I think we highlighted our hamburger bundle on the one we sent in September, but like if you have a product that hasn't been selling as well and you're like, I don't know, people just don't know about this, or maybe they don't want it, so I should get rid of it. You can use that to kind of test out if it's something that people actually are interested in or not. So that's just a little bit. And of course you can customize them. They have pre-built templates. So it's really easy to just add your information in and send it out to your contact list. So automations are kind of what takes all the different aspects of a CRM and puts them together and makes them run seamlessly. So you can run workflows for forms, appointments. We tag our contacts. So like when we run new promotions, like the birthday sale, everybody that purchases a product from the birthday sale is going to have a little tag that says birthday sale, so that when we run future sales, we can look at those and be like, oh, okay, cool. These people were interested in this sale, so they might be interested in a future sale. For the producer side of things, when we are running sales on like a beef bundle, we can tag those people so we know, okay, cool. They really loved this hamburger bundle we did in the past. Let's go ahead, and you can also sort your contacts so you can see how many people bought that. Let's go ahead and run another one. Let's do it slightly different. Maybe we throw in a steak or hamburger patties instead of just regular ground beef. But it helps you sort. It helps you look at what are people buying. What can we do now to make those people buy our products again? We also set up, there's so many things that you can set up automations for. A nurturing sequence is kind of another example of a newsletter. It's slightly different. So newsletters we use to get out there. Nurturing sequences we use to build the trust of the consumer so they'll buy a product. So using those tags again is another great example, because maybe somebody purchased like an eighth of a cow. So that's not a whole lot, but we're like, okay, maybe they're testing it out, see if they like it. We can keep sending them nurturing emails to try to get them to purchase half a cow or a whole cow, which is a much bigger purchase. It's much more revenue for us. So those are kind of some examples that we can run nurturing emails for and sequences for to try to build that trust with the customer and get them to buy more. The other big thing about automations too is it saves you time. So think about some like manual tasks you do all the time that maybe don't have to be manual. A big one that I use for myself and my customers and clients is when people book calendar meetings. So I know this sounds like no-brainer, but I've actually tested out on clients before. They were having a problem. She would get tons of people to book calls with her, but she couldn't get people to show up to the actual meetings. So we started doing research and asking them and trying to figure out what was going on with that. And it wasn't that people didn't want to meet with her. They were forgetting about the meetings because they didn't have reminders. So we set up a reminder email sequence for her using automations, and her conversion rate of having people show up for those meetings was crazy. So just little things like having automatic invoices go out for products, having reminder emails, not even just reminder emails, but like if somebody's a no-show, you can just move. We have pipelines within here. I'm trying not to get too technical because there's so much you can do and I don't have enough time to cover everything. But you can just move a contact tag and it'll automatically send them reminder emails to reschedule a call or appointment with you. So those are actually really, really handy to have and have set up. Other things we've done for like lead magnets, if you have a lead magnet that you send out. So we are talking about the ebook for how to optimize your grass or whatever, your soil. Once they say they want that, they purchase that. Okay, how are they going to get it? So that's what automations are used for. We use triggers to be like, okay, this person checked out. They want the ebook. Here's their email with their information on how to get their ebook, or here's their download. And then while we're at it, let's go ahead and add a tag to that. So we know there's so many things you can do with automations, and they will make your life so much easier, save you so much time, and kind of help you make sure that you're not forgetting to do those things that you forget to do. I have one set up that if I have a meeting scheduled 15 minutes before that meeting's supposed to happen, an automation sends me a text message and an email reminding me that I have a meeting in 15 minutes with the link to that meeting. I'm a busy person. I'm running 2 businesses. I have 2 kids. We have tons of animals and livestock. So, you forget sometimes. It happens. Life gets crazy, especially when you're working around weather patterns and different things like that. But just having those little things set up for you so that you don't forget to do things can really help you grow your business. This is some more just benefits of having a CRM and using it in conjunction with Shopify and your website, social media. I don't know if I covered in here, but also there's a social media planner in high level, so you can actually make, I don't like doing social media. So I sit down and we bulk create all of our social media for the month, and we upload all of our captions and our graphics and schedule it out so that I know if something crazy happens and a kid gets sick and I forget to post something at 10 o'clock on a Thursday, it's going to get posted because it's already planned out. So that's a really nice thing that it has also. Let me run through here, see if we haven't talked about anything. Yeah, all your information is going to be in one place. All your communication, so we haven't talked about the communication aspect of it, but you actually have a communications platform. So it pulls all of your messages from social media, all your emails, all your text messages, your phone calls, everything's in one place. So instead of having to remember where a message came in from, it's all going to be on the same platform, and you actually can respond straight from there, and it'll respond on the platform that it came from. So if I get a message on Instagram, it pops up there. I get the email or the notification on my phone. I can reply real quick, and I don't have to remember which Instagram account I need to log into and respond to, and then get distracted by Instagram. Instead, I'm already in business mode. I'm already focused. So here's what I was just talking about, is actually how much it can save you with all the different aspects. So using the calendar, website and funnel builder, membership, messaging, automations, marketing, payments, blogging, social media, scheduler, everything it does, it can save you over $2,000 a month with subscriptions and stuff. So if you're cheap like I am, and most other ag people I know, it's definitely the way to go. So another really big aspect of building your business online and getting it out there to people and growing is networking. I never thought I would be a network person. I thrive on the online space and doing communications on there. But the first of the year, I started going out and networking and building those relationships with people in my community. And it's been huge, absolutely huge. People are going to be your biggest cheerleaders. So finding those organizations, I recently joined an Ag Connect women's organization of women in ag all over the United States. And just making those connections has been amazing. If they know you, they are going to promote you for free the majority of the time. If they're talking to somebody and they're like, oh, I need a cow, they're going to be like, oh, I know somebody that sells bulk beef. You need to get a hold of her. You have free referrals right there from just somebody that you met and you talked to and met in person. You're building those relationships. So whether it's from businesses, individuals, things like that, they're meeting you in person, and somebody that meets you in person is going to trust you way faster and way easier than somebody that saw you online. So for example, we had one of the organizations I attended in a local town to us is full of business owners from all over the state of Kansas, but mostly in Wichita, which was one of the biggest cities here. Just from going to that organization's event one time, meeting people, talking about what I do, our family business, things like that. We've had 2 restaurants reach out to us in the last month and a half wanting to do wholesale beef with us and use our beef in their restaurant. So we're not at that capacity yet, but that is an amazing resource to have. And just knowing that because we went out and talked to people and built those relationships, we have the potential to be providing 2 restaurants with our meat. The other thing too is the power of community. So being an entrepreneur is very lonely sometimes. You're not an expert at everything. I'm definitely not an expert at everything. I don't know Facebook ads that well, but I know people that do. So having that power of community, knowing others, knowing where to find resources at is very, very helpful. So this is just my information. This takes you to my website, my social medias. I'd love to connect with all of you. And that's basically all I have for this presentation, but I would love to take some time if anybody has any other questions to throw them out here, put them in the chat. I would love to answer any of the questions you have. Okay, well, I don't see anything coming in. It's been great to present this. I really hope that this did help you. I'm always down for feedback. So if you please connect with me on social media, my email is there also. If you guys have any further questions, oh, this is a great one. What are some challenges that you faced when digitalizing your business? I think social media has been a huge one because I'm not an expert at social media. Or at least I really wasn't when I first started. So I didn't start with setting everything up in a CRM. I tried to kind of DIY and use all these different platforms and stuff like that. And honestly, I wish I would have just did it from the very beginning. It made everything so much easier, especially with the social media, really like toning in and knowing who you're speaking to, what your branding is. It makes everything like building your audience and your platform on social media is so much more helpful. Maybe the other thing is like, I think this is mostly a mindset thing too, is thinking like, you know that you can do something, right? Like we know that our beef is really good. We know it tastes good. We know it's more nutritious. We know we have a quality product. Getting it out there and talking to other people and showcasing this, that's hard. And then when you like launch something for the very first time and you don't have 50 people immediately wanting to buy your stuff, like that's a huge mindset thing. So that's another thing where it's nice to have that community, to be networking and knowing people, to kind of build you up when maybe you're like, oh, did we do something wrong here? Are we actually like, can we actually sell our product? It's nice to have those outside resources that are like, this is just the beginning. It's like any other business, it takes a while to build up. So having outside resources to be like, okay, you do have a quality product. It's your first launch. You will sell your product. But it's all like a mindset thing. So just being able to lean on others and know that you can do this, make that happen. Any other questions? Can you share with us any success stories? Yes. So I run 2 businesses, so I'm trying to focus on just one. With the cattle, I knew that this was a thing. I knew that we could make this work. Presenting it to my parents was kind of a big, scary move for us. And then when they said yes, I kind of like panicked because I didn't expect them to do that, to be honest. But getting the feedback from the community and other people being like, yes, this is a great idea. Yes, you can do this. When that restaurant reached out to me a month ago wanting to sell wholesale, like that was that was a huge like celebration moment for us. Obviously, we can't do wholesale at this moment, but knowing that people want our product is huge. The same thing side on the as for my other business, doing the tech setups is I've been like I always want to help ag businesses, and that's what I'm passionate about. That's kind of why I got started with my business and did both business and ag, because I've watched my dad be an entrepreneur in ag for the last 20 some years. I see the struggle that farms and ranchers and other younger ag businesses go through, and I want them to expand. I know there's this possibility, and I know they can do it, but until about a year ago, all of my clients were in like way different industries, and I wasn't finding ag clients. So like getting my first ag client was huge. It was a huge just aha, I am doing it right. I can help this community. So that was another like really good aha, like success. I guess these are just like aha, good feeling stories for me. But I like seeing one of the funnels I built for a client. She started from zero. I built her a funnel. In the first week of her funnel being live and her sharing it in Facebook groups and stuff like that, she had over 800 clicks on her funnel. So like over 800 people were coming through looking at her funnel. And from those, she converted 36 into customers. So that's also really exciting. I like sharing my client success stories too, because that's I don't want to be the spotlight for them. I want to do all the behind the work stuff so their dreams can come true too. So I'm really passionate about that. I'm a mom. I love the fact that I can work from home with my kids, and I know a lot of other moms want to do that too. So she was a mom. She has several kids, and that's kind of why she was getting out and doing this and building her course. So to be able to do that for her and help her start from basically ground zero to building that funnel, getting all those leads and 36 conversions for her and clients, like that was amazing. Absolutely amazing. But I don't see any other questions coming in. So I guess we'll hop off this. But like I said before, please follow me. Please reach out to me if you guys have any questions. I have tons of resources. And I'm always available to hop on a call and answer, whether it's email or social media or whatever, any questions that you guys have. Real quick, I saw another question come in. What's your advice for someone starting an ag business? What to avoid? Don't try to do too much all at once. So figure out exactly what you want to do. And I know it's hard to figure out exactly what you want to do from the very beginning, but this is kind of like homesteading. Don't try to homestead and do everything the very first year all at once. You're going to fail. It's not, you're going to have plants that don't grow. You're going to have chickens that die. Crazy things are going to happen. Same thing with biz. Find something that you're passionate about. Find something that you already know how to do or that you want to do, and you could learn how to do well, and start with that. Don't try to go crazy all at once. You're going to have lots of challenges your first year or two, and probably after that also, but start small and grow. Don't try to do everything all at once. There's some great questions, guys. Kind of a little bit back to that and like what we talked about at the beginning. If you already have a dairy cow that you're milking for your family, I know we looked into a dairy cow because my kids drink crazy amounts of milk. But we can't drink the amount of milk that a dairy cow produces, even with how much my kids drink. So you already have that milk and it's potentially going to waste. So if it's something that you can sell to somebody else, maybe it covers your feed. So just little things like that. But I'm getting notification that we're about done. So any other questions, feel free to reach out to me. Thank you guys all so much for this. It's been great. I really hope that you learned something. And yeah, I'm available anytime through email or social media. Bye.